Several presidents of Latin America and the Caribbean participated Wednesday in an extraordinary summit of the Bolivarian Alliance for the Peoples of the Americas People's Trade Treaty, ALBA-TCP. The summit of the regional bloc was held via video conference and chaired by Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro. During the virtual meeting, the heads of state discussed key regional issues such as updated permanent cooperation plans and the current situation in the continent. They also condemned the imperialist powers' complicity with Zionism and called to join forces against the U.S. campaign to tarnish President Nicolás Maduro's image. They also highlighted ALBA's leading role in the protection of the region's sovereignty. It's something characterizes this time that we are experiencing and from which we would come out stronger and victorious. Is the cruelty and the normalization of the use of force, of the threat of use of force, and of crime in all its expression. Crime in all its expressions. To shell noble peoples, unarmed people, defenseless as the Palestinian people. And ALBA is there, bravely denouncing, accompanying the great global movement, powerful movement of solidarity with the Palestinian people. President Maduro called for regional and international unity among states and social movements in order to build a joint front against imperialist threats, while highlighting ALBA's constant support for the Palestinian cause and its firm rejection of Zionist genocide. With your permission, my brothers and sisters from Latin America and the Caribbean, to call to the union of all the rebellious people, of all the social movements of Latin America, of the Caribbean, of the United States, of Africa and beyond, in defense of the right of the Venezuelan people's right to sovereignty, peace, self-determination, and our own development and future. Union is what has made us strong. In his address during the 13th ALBA-TCP Extraordinary Summit, Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel denounced the criminalization of President Nicolás Maduro and condemned the policies of interference, sanctions, and economic coercion by the United States against different countries. So these are moments of great challenges. Imperialism in its offensive, evidence that has no intention to stop before the limits imposed by international law, the UN Charter, and decades of resolutions and regional declarations and universal declarations against coercion, threat, interference in the internal affairs of other states, and interventions. The announced measure that the United States pretends to give to its agencies to act against criminal groups within the borders of other states is an unacceptable threat of aggression against sovereignty of the countries of the state, an aggression also of the regime of peace and cooperation in Latin America and the Caribbean that we have strived so much to guarantee.